ZTE Corporation, with its smartphone brand ZTE, surprised the smartphone market as they unveiled the world's first under-display smartphone powered by 5-core technologies. ZTE launches the world's first under-display camera smartphone, the ZTE Axon 20 5G, which marked another milestone in the exploration of the true full-view smartphone. ZTE Axon 20 5G is equipped with a 6.92 OLED display and supports 10-bit color depth as well as 100% coverage of DCI-P3 color gamut, making the display performance reach the digital cinematic color standards. With a thickness of only 7.98mm and the ultra-thin design of double shoulder lines, ZTE Axon 20 5G has inherited the sleek style of ZTE Axon series. ZTE Axon 20 5G features the upgraded antenna technology to ensure an ultra-fast 5G experience anytime and anywhere. ZTE's Super Antenna 2.0 is a cutting-edge PDS antenna with a 360 surround integrated design and intelligent closed-loop tuning. Powered by the Qualcomm Snapdragon 765G mobile platform, ZTE Axon 20 5G features a new generation full scenario system optimization engine. This smartphone has 6GB of RAM with 128 of internal storage or 8GB of RAM with 256GB of internal storage. The 32-megapixel selfie cam on the Axon 20 also comes with its own light perception sensor, which regulates the amount of light needed for each scenario. Around the back, we have a quad camera array headlined by a 64-megapixel primary shooter. The auxiliary sensors are 8-megapixel ultra-wide snapper and two 2-megapixels units for depth data and macro shots. This smartphone is powered with a large 4220 mAh battery that can support 30-watt quick charge and a 5G power saving mode that improves battery life by 35%. The software front is covered by ZTE's Mi Favor 10.5 on top of Android 10. The Axon 20 5G comes in 4 vivid colors, including blue, black, purple, and orange. The official sales of the smartphone will be scheduled in China for September 10. The base 6x128GB stream goes for 2,198 Chinese yuan. There's also an 8x128GB model for 2,498 Chinese yuan and an 8GB by 256GB version for 2,798 Chinese yuan.
Today we have a very exciting smartphone, and it's exciting for one very specific reason. This is the Axon 20 5G from ZTE. This phone is not here. It is not in North America. I mean, it's here in front of me, but it's not in North America. It's not in Western markets. It's in China, I believe, exclusively at the moment. It's a little vision into the future. This is the world's first smartphone with an under-display front-facing camera. Now, Axon 20 5G, Albert Einstein on the box, which if that doesn't get you going, I mean, logic will get you from A to B. Imagination will take you everywhere. Can we get a fact check on that, Will? We can see we have the variant with 6 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of storage. 5G is right in the name, Axon 20 5G. No notch, no hole punch. Now the way they do this is by doing some fancy stuff with the pixels in the region over top the front-facing camera. Super glossy mirror look and finish. This is your camera module, bunch of different camera units. 64 megapixel optical stabilization. The device actually feels fairly premium. I think this is a metal construction. On the bottom, we have a USB Type-C connector, speaker unit, and that's also where you're gonna install your SIM card. I believe there's expandable storage here as well. They do include a case by the looks of it, fairly standard clear case. This has a kind of texture to it for some reason on the inside. And then a VIP card. What am I a VIP of? I don't know. All right, we have a power brick, which looks to be a somewhat quick charge power brick. Do we list the wattage? It is a 30-watt charger. That's coming straight from Willie Doo, so I don't know about you. I believe it. I believe it. You can decide for yourself if it's worthwhile to believe that. I believe it is. I believe in believing in Willie Doo. That's a thumbs up, ladies and gentlemen. Also in the package, USB Type-C to Type-A connector for the 30-watt power brick. And then last up, what is this? Oh, a little adapter. Type-C to mini jack for your headphone connection, which is kind of important for a device in this price range. All right, let's go ahead and see if this has any power. It does. We catch a buzz. Sort of there, but almost not. Front-facing camera. So a couple different options for security. You have face unlock, which is going to use that in-display front-facing camera. You have fingerprint, which is also in display. It's an OLED display, actually. And then, of course, password. Maybe I'll do the face one. Let me do the fingerprint as well. It's in the expected location. Actually, it's fast. And I can't... In this lighting, I can kind of see it. All right, okay, so that works. We are in. So this is one of those tricks where you see you have the darker wallpaper in order to diminish the appearance of any imperfection that you might be able to pick up on the portion of screen that goes over top the front-facing camera. What's weird about this for me is, what is the alternative? Even if I see a little slightly pixelated section, is that better or worse than seeing the cutout or seeing the hole punch? I am an early adopter. I like to have that new technology. And the display, by the way, is FHD+. And that's not a tremendous number of pixels for a display at this scale. This is a big screen. 6.92, this is almost a 7-inch display at 1080p. So can you pick it up, Jack? Depends on the angle, right?
Yeah, I can't see it.
Can't see it, even on white. At this range, I'm gonna go ahead and say it's less distracting than having the hole punch. Certainly when it comes to the video portion, the video frame, without having a hole punch, it's a little bit more immersive. Even though your eyes can pick up, I can definitely, with my eyes, see that section. That pixel weave just looks different. Jack, you must see it there. Well, we're gonna try to get some shots of it and we'll overlay them in here so that you guys get a real impression for it. But the key factor here, the lighter the picture that you're looking at, the more you're gonna be able to see the region that's covering up that front-facing camera. But I think it's something you would get used to really fast. And I think as far as futuristic technology, this is really promising. I mean, the implications of this technology are pretty massive. To have high-resolution cameras hidden underneath screens, well, you can imagine all the places and all the potential applications for that, even beyond smartphones. Because I want to see what happens when I flip it around to front facing, you see that little animation that took place up there? Let me just do that one more time. See that up there? What is the quality gonna be like? Let me just turn off the beauty. It does have a kind of softish look to it. Almost like a dream-like fog, sort of. I don't know if that's the AI features. Yeah, so it looks like I can't completely turn beauty off, and it is doing something to me. Like, that was the concern for me, is since it's peering through a set of pixels, is that gonna impact the image? I would say it is kind of a little bit at this moment, just looking at this selfie, but if it is the processing that's making it look a little cloudy, then maybe I should actually try some front-facing video. All right, so this is the front-facing video. This is the front-facing video quality right here, and the audio as well. Does it still have a kind of dreamlike glow to it? I think it actually looks all right. Maybe I'll just kind of move around a bit here and walk into a darker environment. There's less light over here from over there. And then I'll go back. I mean, it works. It's kind of wild that this is being recorded through an actual screen right now. The camera is looking through a screen and then at me. It's not the best I've ever seen, but it's passable. It's kind of surprising, actually. It's hard for me, you know, I'm often evaluating expensive phones here, so it's hard for me to compare it to like the top tier front-facing video that's out there. But certainly for something that's utilizing some brand new technology, I would say for a lot of people that would be a passable front-facing video or a passable selfie. Not the greatest I've seen, but at least in the range, sort of. All right, so what's the verdict here? You guys know the main reason for me looking at this device was to evaluate this particular technological advancement in the front-facing camera department. Everybody has been looking towards imagining this future in which we're just holding on to screens with no obstructions, with no notches and things like this. And originally you had the motorized camera was the first version of that, but it was a little bit slow, and then people wondered about the long-term durability of a motorized front-facing camera. And then this is the next phase, in my estimation. This is the next place that we go. We attempt, they find a way to sit it underneath your screen in such a fashion that you won't notice at all. We are not completely there yet. I can notice this. I can see the different pixel weave, particularly against these light backgrounds. Whether it's more or less distracting to you than a front-facing hole punch or notch, well, that's going to be a personal preference. But strictly from a technological perspective, I think it is kind of a marvel to be able to utilize a camera without seeing the camera itself. Even if that means seeing a slight discrepancy in the way the display looks, this to me does feel like the future once they are capable of absolutely nailing it. And so it's kind of cool to hold on to what is the very first commercially available version of this brand new technology.